Welcome to the Kahler Podcast. Today we are going to finally talk about the machine shop. You've heard Gary mention many times that these are real people supporting real families that we have to pay a livable wage to. And we're going to show you a few as well as some footage from the machine shop. How you doing today, Gary?
Well, this is 100% American made. We're very proud of that. This machine shop has been around from the very beginning. We started out there in about 1976, and we still have some of the original Bridgeports knee mills that we started out with. And of course, we have machine centers and screw machines and everything else. And we have some very special people there that have worked with me and everybody for over 45 years. These are real families that really do work and run these machines and actually program doing these parts. They've come all the way from knee mills using Bridgeports all the way to the new machine centers. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud that they've worked nonstop for us. This is American made. I got to tell you, we got to take care of these people.
I don't know if anybody caught this, but you said work with you. You didn't say work for me. You said work. This is something that Gary is very adamant about, is that we all work together.
Hey, all I can say is this. If you don't have these people's expertise, you don't have a company. If you don't have the money, you don't have a company. If you don't have customers, you don't have a company. If we don't advertise, we don't have a company. Everybody's important. Just as important as I am. All I try to do is keep all the shit in the right place at the right time. That's difficult to do now with OEMs buying offshore, but we're still in business and do these podcasts. It's increased our sales about 10 to 12%. Not a hell of a lot, but it all counts because I'm proud of the fact that these people that we're going to be talking about, these machine operators and so forth, have been with us this long. Let's say they have 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids. How in the hell can a family live on less than $50,000 a year today? I don't know how you could possibly do it.
Especially in Southern California.
In Southern California, it's just nuts. That's some of the problems we face every day, and I'm going to make this very aware to the end user. The end user's got to understand this. We are Americans. And by God, we're making this in the United States. And these are real Americans making this shit. And we expect to be able to sell it. So we have all kinds of problems with OEMs buying it because OEMs, factories in the United States of America, want to say, well, you're too expensive because they can buy an XYZ bridge for $30 off of Alibaba, eBay, or wherever the hell or whoever they are, and import that damn thing rather than pay a reasonable amount of money for an American-made piece. I'm faced with that shit every day. So all I can tell you is that this is important. You want to keep people in a machine shop in business, they're the people that really make it. They program it. They help with all of the R&D and all the rest of it.
We're basically going to run over sort of your big three, your big main 3 guys. But it's important to note that there's a lot more than 3 people in the machine shop. So let's start out with Gabriel, who people call Gabby. He's the main programmer, correct?
Well, he isn't just a programmer. He's a setup person. He works with a man by the name of Emmanuel in setting up the tooling and the holding fixtures and everything else. Feeds and speeds, the selection of feeds and speeds and what tools you're using and the tool changer and all of that.
My name is Gabriel Barajas. I started working on the music industry in the 1980s in Rosarito Beach. I was running some bodies and necks for Fender. After that, Fender moved to Ensenada and I moved to California. And for things of the destiny, I started in the music industry here with Bill for Merlin 5. At that time was named Tech Industries. So I've been working and programming since 1990. And I've been programming for many car companies like GNL, Fender, Pandima Guitars. Now it's Prince Lloyd Guitars. It's in Oklahoma. And I've been working for many other companies. We run their parts, you know.
In the beginning, in late 70s, going into the 80s, we all just used emails and Bridgeports. So he's had to learn all this.
Yeah.
Go to school and all that, and then raise a family in the meantime.
Let's talk about Jaime for a second. Jaime's the person that I know the best out of these three because he comes here and he actually puts together the bridges as well as working in the machine shop.
Well, we have many people putting together bridges, but Jaime is the main one. Like when we were making 400 bridges a day because OEMs actually gave us shit to buy our stuff, and they weren't as concerned about the offshore shit. Well, Jaime ran that. He had 14 people in assembly on a moving assembly belt that he managed. And that assembly belt would put out, like I said, between 375, 420 units a day.
Hi, my name is Jaime Martinez. I'm working with Gary for 40 years, and I'm working for Kahler and do it on electric guitars, you know, the assembly parts for tremolos. And I'm working in the machine shop also, and I'm working for Gary, and I'm very happy working with Gary, you know.
Some weeks we ran that 6 days. So that kind of give you an idea. We had sales in the millions of dollars. Well, Jaime ran all of that.
Yeah.
And we're very pleased today to have Jaime still with us doing this. So he comes here and helps the crew here the best way to assemble everything, check everything, QC everything. So if anything goes wrong, we just blame Jaime.
We just blame Jaime. Now,
Right.
I have to say that Jaime's one of my favorite people in the world. I mean, he is just about the nicest person I've ever met. I really like Jaime. He's great. Let's move on to Manuel.
Well, Manuel's important because Manuel worked hand in hand with Bill Gerien, the real tool maker that put all this stuff together. And without tools, you got nothing.
My name is Manuel Escobedo. I've been doing this job for like quite a while, about like 40 years. And I guess I'm a machinist. I do a lot of parts for guitar company, different kind, brass, aluminum, steel. And I've been doing that from the beginning, from when I started with like 18 years old. And I learned from the boss. And he teach me how to do tools and how to like measure everything, read print, and all kind of stuff he knows. So he teach me a lot of stuff. And that's how he learned it to do the job. I love it. I like it because it's different like every day. It's not like you doing the same thing and like big companies, like doing one job the whole day. Well, this is different. Drilling, talking, cutting. I like it.
So Manuel is the prodigy, I would say, of Bill.
Right.
And tool making. So we got all these different things we do in a shop. You got to know how to program it, know how to the tool changes work, what tools you're going to use, what fixtures you're going to use, what feeds and speeds you're going to use. But now we got to have a tool maker actually make the tools to hold the raw materials in whatever machine we're going to do. And that's Manuel. All I can say, he's a really important that crew, that's our main source, the main trio. And I can even use my three-legged stool there to say that.
Yeah.
No one of these people are more important than the other. Without the programmer and the machine operator, you got nothing. Without the tool maker, you got nothing. And without a QC guy that puts it together, knows how to put together, you got nothing. So our butt's sitting right on top of here, and that's where that company, well, my company has been, where my butt's been for the last almost 50 years. And that's important. Never underestimate what these absolute operation people have to do, because they actually make this stuff.
The parts in the footage, they are for an OEM, and I'm guessing that you probably got an NDA. You can't say who it's for.
No, of course I'm going to say who it's for. We've done business with Fender for, I would say, it's over 50 years, actually.
Okay.
And we're making, that's a saddle. They go on a Stratocaster. I'm not sure which one. But Bill Gerien has literally designed all the tools, and we're not showing you a lot of tools have been designed because they're too proprietary. But we'll just show you this one.
Where we cut it up in individual.
And that's very innovative on a machine center. That's what's on that machine.
So just to be extremely clear, if you've got a strap bridge, you're playing something made by Kahler.
Well, yeah. From God only knows what point in time.
Right.
Because we've made stuff for Fender. We love Fender. I mean,
who doesn't love Fender? Fender's they're freaking juggernaut. They're amazing.
I've gone through, I think, 5 CEOs or something like that.
Right.
It's nice to be able to say that we've been together with Fender for that long.
This was something that I was so excited. The first time I went to the machine shop, I saw a award that Fender gave out, and there it is.
Yep.
That's obviously a headstock for a Strat.
Yep.
Because we made the brass nut, but that's a very special Strat. That's the Yngwie Malmsteen signature Strat, and we make the brass nut on that.
We could almost go through that line, and you'd be surprised how many parts we've made for Fender. And we're very proud of that. I think Fender likes us from that point of view, because we do have the processes down, and we do have the processes not only for making it, but controlling it, and so that we can make it on time. Everything's about process and getting things on time, and then actually getting paid for it.
I think the main evidence that Fender is happy is that we continue to make these parts for them.
Well, we try to keep them happy, and they keep us happy because, they're just a good customer. That's all.
Yeah, they really are. There's another thing that we made, and I don't know if these are still available, but just the fact that we made them is something that I got real excited about when I saw it. There's so many things that we make that we can't say because of NDAs and things like that. But this right here we're going to talk about, and this is the 2-Tech bridge. This thing, I remember so much about when this came out. The bass bridges, actually, Hamer came out with a special bass that they put them on. You've got a bit of a history with Paul Hamer, right?
Yes, sure do.
So it's really no surprise when you start thinking about it. But man, I mean, this is just such a neat thing. And this is a great, big, heavy piece of hardware here. So heavy that it looks like that you guys drilled some holes just for some weight relief.
Oh, it isn't weight relief. Actually, it sounds better with those holes.
Yeah, and
And believe it or not,
I'm sure you guys checked it out on the scope, right?
you just put it on the scope. It's pretty darn obvious.
There was enough at the machine shop. This 5-string was sitting there, and there was enough for me to put together a 4-string, and they both have the little covers that go over the top. But the thing that I was the most excited about was the guitar bridge, because I've got a great big hero named Mike Keneally that has one of these in what was his main guitar forever and may still be. Unfortunately, we don't have all the parts to complete this thing.
Well, that's here and there. We damn well can make them.
I want them.
I just want to point out that these items are they are proprietary to Tech, and we honor that, and we're very, very pleased to have them for that, as many other customers we have. Maybe we can do a podcast from the machine shop sometime.
Well, I really think we should, and I think that we should really kind of close it out with you telling us a little bit about Bill.
Bill Gerien, my best friend, believe me, in the manufacturing business. Wonderful guy that I met in the late 70s. I can tell you, he's the greatest tool maker in the whole world, and without his ability to make the tools to put in Bridgeports originally, tracer Bridgeports secondly, where we can make 3 parts at a time with 3 Bridgeport heads, and then eventually going into machine centers, and then everything in between, all the secondaries, all the very special hand tools that had to be made and so forth. That is all Bill Gerien. So we made a good combination. He has always run the machine shop part of it, and I've run the other 2 legs. Bill had his own machine shop when I met him in the 70s, and then we went together and we formed a company called American Precision, Brass Factory first,
right,
and then American Precision. And now, eventually, this is Kahler International. I should backtrack and say that Merlin 5 was the machine shop. It became that then when I moved here to Las Vegas, and
right,
he ran it on Fender Boulevard in Fullerton. It has become Kahler International again, and because it just works out better that way corporately.
Yeah.
So we're going to give a big shout out here to Bill and all the rest of the people in the machine shop.
There were a bunch that we didn't mention, but I mean, there's a guy there doing bone nuts, something that a lot of people don't realize is that we do bone nuts, and we actually have a very special bone nut. I'm not even going to say what's special about it because I don't know if we're ready to talk about that yet.
There is one other person, a brand new guy that we've just hired. His name is Robert Mahoney.
Yeah.
And he's our controller down there.
Yeah.
I just spent about 3 hours with him this weekend on emails and the rest of it, about an hour this morning with him, because we always got to have the money in the right place at the right time so we stay in business. And that's a good thing.
He was interesting to meet, and you got a certain personality type you like to work with. You like to work with people who you can just say, this is what I want, figure it out, and then we go get it done. You like people that are aggressive, which is good for me.
I think the most important thing, it isn't really what I want. It is what we figured out what the company wants and needs.
Right.
I am not a certified accountant, and you've got to have controllers that know where to put the money when, and things got to be collected and bills got to be paid, and you better damn well keep track of your cash flow.
And you know what? I think that covers it for the machine shop for right now. We definitely are going to do some more stuff. I really think that we're going to want to get Bill in here and talk to him at some point too.
We'll do that, or we'll go down there and talk to him too, one or the other.
So I just want to leave you guys with this. We also did something with G&L, and that will be coming up very, very soon. In fact, maybe even next week. Until then, I've been Eddie Kernan.
And it's Gary Kahler.
See you next week.